Large cappuccino. Orders up.
Welcome back to Mental Breakdown.
We got a great episode today. Breaking down the 2024 MLB World Series between the New York Yankees and the Los Angeles Dodgers today.
Yes.
A lot of big moments, big just physical points, mental points, a lot of stuff for us to break down today, which is going to be a fun, very fun episode.
Yeah, the Fall Classic, as it's referred to, and it finished in October. It was close. It could have been close. It would have been. I think they would have been back in LA for Game 6 tonight. Yep. A possible Game 7 if they could have forced it tomorrow. So. Yeah,
ended at Game 5 with the Los Angeles Dodgers winning, of course. But what a series, though. Even though it went 5 games, still, again, a lot to break down, a lot to go over today. But, you know.
And it looks like you're also repping the Dodgers.
I am.
Yeah.
I do. I am repping the Dodgers. I mean, you know, they did win, so might as well put this jersey on today instead of the New York Yankees jersey. And the Cleveland Guardians over here, too.
Yeah, I was told I had to wear the Yankees jersey.
That would not go well back at home.
I put on the Guardians jersey. I thought I was close enough. They were in the ALCS, but as a Red Sox fan, I can't physically put that on my body. So
I don't blame you.
So how it works. And I was at ALCS. I was at the LCS Game 5, the American League Championship Series, and I watched Juan Soto, which I will say I am a fan. Helped me with my fantasy baseball team this year. But Yankees advanced the World Series beating the Guardians, and the Dodgers advanced beating the Mets.
They did.
Stopping the possible Subway Series matchup.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the final 4 teams, I'd say were favored all year. The Mets were one that kind of came out of nowhere, but Yankees, Dodgers, Guardians were pretty much at the top the whole year. So, I mean, carried their winning streaks throughout the postseason to get to the ALCS and also the World Series. So
yeah. And before we get too far into this, too, Mental Breakdown, once again, is where we take one of the world's biggest sporting events, and we look at it from us being mental performance coaches from the mental standpoint, what we think they're thinking, what we see with their routines, what are the goals. Obviously, the big goal for all these teams left, especially these final 2 with the Yankees and Dodgers, is to win and win it all and win 4 games. That's all it takes at this point.
Yep.
And
no asterisks on this season.
No asterisks.
Not on this one.
You believe in asterisks.
Yeah,
no
this
asterisks
is
on
a
the
full
COVID season.
162-game season from pretty much you want to include spring training from February to March all the way to almost November here, October, November. So I want to start the first
I think we can start the first, but I think also let's lay the groundwork a little bit. 27-time World Series champions, the New York Yankees, back in the October Classic for the first time in 15 years since they won it all back in 2009. 41st World Series appearance. Dodgers looking for their 8th title. They're at 7, and there'd be 22nd appearance in the Fall Classic. So more losses than wins, and can they do it this time against the winningest franchise?
We will see.
We will see.
Even though
you already
even though I
gave the spoiler,
gave the spoiler in the very beginning for those that did not watch the World Series, I apologize. But to start off here, in Game 1, right, again, to kind of set the scene here, the New York Yankees, Los Angeles Dodgers, a very competitive Game 1 going back and forth. A lot of these World Series games, very rarely do you see like real high scores. I mean, the pitching to get to this point, you usually have to have at least somewhat decent pitching. From starter to what we've saw in this series, really good relievers and hopefully some sort of good closer in the end. But this is why you see just in Game 1 here, it's not a surprise. It's going to extra innings, high intensity, big moments, bases loaded, 2 outs. Freddie Freeman had kind of mentioned, and I think a couple other players as well, like this is kind of what you dream about, right? Like backyard baseball, having in a World Series game, having the opportunity to get a win, to hit a grand slam, to just hit a home run in a World Series game, which is crazy, to win the game. So this is just like backyard baseball just stuff here, which was great.
Win the game, make the difference. The motivations for doing it all, you do it for that little kid, like you said, that's back and probably playing wiffle ball in your driveway or in the front yard. And yeah, I think Freddie Freeman probably had a pretty good World Series. Wouldn't you say?
He did. He did indeed. So the first clip we're pulling here is Freddie Freeman, that bases loaded 2 outs here in the bottom of the 10th inning. The Yankees and Aaron Boone, the manager, brought in Nestor Cortez. Very interesting pitching decision, as he hasn't pitched about a month prior to this date. Brought him in for the lefty-on-lefty matchup. And one point here, before I'm going to let this play, is, in these big moments, just from like a mental standpoint, in these big moments, right, there's 1,000 things that could rush through your head as an athlete. Like,
right. 2
outs, right? I don't want to ground out, I want to pop up. Certainly don't want to strike out. I mean, you're at home. Crowd's probably going absolutely wild over there in L.A. One of the best things he does here, I feel like he just not only just stays calm in the moment, but you don't really see like any like wild, like physical, crazy swing or just like lack of focus. He's just like locked in. It's like him and the pitcher, and you're going to see here in a second. He's just staring down the pitcher. He knows the moment. He's been here before. He's been in a World Series game. He's won a World Series actually with the Atlanta Braves. And I believe here after
just a lot of focus, a
lot of stare down. There's not too much distraction. After one pitch, boom, there it goes, right? And not wasting much time at all. Not saying, hey, I'm going to wait for the perfect pitch. Just ultra aggressive, goes after the first pitch, and sends the LA Dodgers.
Puts him up 1-0.
Yeah, puts him up 1-0 in the series.
Right, and Nestor only 2 pitches in, so from a manager standpoint, they have him available still, right?
Yeah.
2 pitches is, you are a former collegiate pitcher, right, for baseball, not much, right? So
no.
He'll be back, but to go down 1-0, right? But the goal is to eventually win 4 games somehow. But like you said, Freddie Freeman there, locked in, ready to go, knew what he needed to do, and compared to other points where you might want guys to increase their pitch count, it's about which pitch am I looking for. He saw it, he found it, and he swung.
He did, and I think that right there is just a great, just something that young athletes can take away. Like when you get to these big moments, it's not always you want to be too picky on stuff. Like you see a pitch you like, go after it, right? Like not saying, oh man, that pitch is maybe a little more inside, because then you start overthinking. The longer you get into these at-bats, the more you're thinking about what they could throw. Freeman saw a fastball on an 0 count and just let it fly, right. and good things happen to him. You just put the bat on the ball, and to hit a grand slam in a World Series, that's just that feeling. You just got to be unbelievable. And the fan who caught the ball too.
Yeah, Coach Braden really is into getting as many baseballs out of the games as he can get, but
especially the home run balls would be awesome. But
to get a grand slam, it's also a credit. I think you got another clip pulling up here,
yep.
right? To the credit of this team, right? Both these teams are the 2 out of the top 3 highest in payroll in MLB, I think 1 and 3 respectively.
Yep.
So, they paid. This is what you're paying for to get to this point. And I think the really just important thing that you said Freddie Freeman did was just like stare down the pitcher, get in his normal set routines. And the environment's always changing when we're out there competing as athletes. But if we can keep what we can control in front of us, which was, him looking, what's the pitch, what am I looking for from a lefty, and then swinging on it, it's perfect.
And fast forward here now to a 3-game lead, 3-0 on the series. LA Dodgers taking care of business in Game 1, obviously with that Freeman grand slam. But Game 2 and Game 3, Game 4 back in New York. I believe Game 3 also was in New York as well. But
yeah,
Game 4 back in New York, pivotal game.
All pivotal games. This is a clinching game.
This is. There's not another term for like win or go home. Like you either got to win or it's the whole season's over here. Yeah. So Yankees with their backs against the wall for sure, and a young star coming up in Anthony Volpe. Again, big moment, right? I know the Freeman one, bottom 10. That's a walk-off grand slam, which is just insane. But again, bases loaded, bottom 3, Yankees down by 1, 2 outs again. I think that's another big point that, I think baseball players or even coaches sometimes like, 2 outs, like, 1 more out and the inning's over. Usually You want to build a lot of momentum up in the very beginning of an inning, no outs, 1 out, okay.
And it's not like with 1 out, right, you could try to advance a runner, you could get a sac fly, you could try to get a bunt. With this, it's you have to hit, and you have to hit it into a gap. You have to find the space that you're looking for. And I think the fascinating thing, it's 2-1. this is a reliever that's already pitched 18 pitches. This is not the starter. The Dodgers went in for a bullpen game, right, where they're just throwing the relief pitchers, no starters in here. And for me, when I was watching this, I was thinking in my head, because my friend and I were talking about it, and we were like, why isn't he pulling out Dan Hudson? And instead, Volpe, once again, finds it low in the zone, drives, and it is gone out of here. Another grand slam in the World Series. How often does that happen?
You barely even see like grand slams like during the year. The 162 games and these teams' individual seasons. I don't know how many games that computes out to in a whole MLB year for everybody, but very rarely do you even see grand slams. You saw 2 of them in basically one series here. So, but again, you go back to Volpe's grand slam here, first pitch again. Yeah, we can go back to that. I know he hit it.
Pull this back up.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. 2 outs and bottom 3, down by a run, and on the very first pitch, sees something he likes, doesn't take too much time, and again, not overthinking it, just being aggressive, right? Putting a good swing on it and see what happens, and puts it into the seats. I think that's another really big testament to, like, when you get in the big moments, it's very important for any athlete or younger athlete, or if you're in high school, college, pro, whatever, like being able to not look at the moment as bigger than it already is, right? Not putting extra pressure on yourself. And seeing a pitch you hit right away, pitcher makes a mistake, grooves a fastball right down the middle, and he put in the seats. I mean, not wasting too much time. I think that's a great, between Freeman and Volpe, they're almost the same, very similar at-bats.
Very similar at-bats.
Very similar.
Once again, speaks to the teams, right? Grand slams happen because there's also the 3 guys before you in the order also got on base, and these teams are stacked.
They are.
And that's what I said, I think, going in. We talked about it before the World Series started. I was like, for me, when it came down to it, which top 4 hitters are going to be the ones that are going to play better throughout the series? And that's why the Dodgers had a 3-0 lead. Their top 4 hitters were getting it done. And then, right, this pivotal game 4, the Yankees, I believe, right, close it out and win this one.
They do. The Yankees close it out.
And the offense showed up finally.
Yeah,
if you're a Yankees fan.
How many runs they end up?
I think it was like 11 to 4, 11 to 5.
Yeah, they showed up. They're in New York. The fans, the momentum is starting to change. You feel it. Even though they're down 3-0, they got the win 3-1. Everyone's talking to the media. Can they be the first?
Can they be the first? There's only one other time in MLB history a team came back down 3-0. It was against the Yankees, the Red Sox. You can catch the documentary on Netflix if you want to watch the whole, relive the glory moments.
With the link below.
But Red Sox Yankees fandom. All the hatred there, but a little bit. But
it's just so interesting because, like, after one win right there, I mean, the Dodgers, they won the first 3 games. Yankees win 1, and everyone's like, oh, the Yankees got the momentum back, right? They're swinging. Like, it's a lot. It's a tall task, right, to go down and 3-0 and then go up through, be down 3-1 and have to basically roll 4 straight games in a row to like win a whole series. That's real tough. So, but also, that does is, I think there's good and bad with your back against the wall. A lot of athletes and coaches be like, oh, we have nothing to lose. So your back's against the wall. Well, what you do have to lose is a whole World Series. Like there is like another side.
It's hard to buy into that message sometimes, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So like there is a lot of pressure that just comes with not just being in a World Series for the Yankees, but then being down to you have to win every single game or it's all over.
Right.
And
how many times during a regular season, right? 162 game schedule. Can you rely on, at one point, did you win, or multiple times did you win 4 games in a row during the season? Because as an athlete, right, if you did that, then you can rely on that. Oh, we've done this before. This is how we did it. Try to think back to those moments, I think, is really huge and crucial. And, that's why you play in a 162 game season, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of chance for you to get back to your averages or get back to what you need to do.
Tons.
Yeah.
Tons of opportunity. And fast forwarding here to game 5, the pressure of, hey, they won game 4, down 3-1. Now they start game number 5 here. They go up 5.
5-0. Judge hits a home run. The offense is clicking.
Yep.
They switch the lineup, right? They put in Chaz Chisholm. They're trying everything they possibly can to get back into this. But I think something that's overlooked from that game 4 too is Dave Roberts only threw 4 pitchers that entire game for the Dodgers as the manager. And good coaching, right, can breed good confidence for athletes. And I think that was a little bit of a strategic game plan. They said, you can kind of have this one if you want it. It'd be embarrassing if you lose to a bunch of relief pitchers. We're not throwing a starter.
100%.
And then you can come back because you play 3 straight days, right? And you know this a little better than I do, right? You can't tax the bullpen because you need to rely on that, right, as you keep going throughout. And the Yankees kind of spent it. They used 6 pitchers game 4 compared to the Dodgers 4. So the Dodgers got a little left in the tank. But like you said, Yankees offense is clicking.
Yep.
It's up 5-0.
Yep. It's up 5-0. They're rolling here again. Judge finally gets out of the slump a little bit here, gets the home run. Jazz Chisholm hits another one right after him. Back-to-back home runs. New York is going crazy. Everyone's thinking, we're going to Game 7.
We're going to Game 6.
Go to Game 6.
Game 6
Go
first.
to Game 6 first.
They're feeling it.
Yeah, they're
no
feeling it.
team has ever, when they're down 3-0, won the Game 5. This would have been a first in MLB history for it to have gone back, which would have just added a bunch of immense pressure, something not talked about, right? That would have been a historical first if the Yankees could have forced a Game 6 back in LA, but and then there's always a but, right? Garrett Cole's on the mound. He is dealing.
But
and the nightmare begins.
The 5th inning nightmares for the New York Yankees begins. Starting the guy in first base. Judge misses it's kind of just an easy line drive. You got to catch that. You're the captain of the New York Yankees. You got to have that.
You're the star.
You're the star.
You're the star player, the presumptive AL MVP, and you drop a routine play there.
Yep, and then you have
guys
right
on
after
first
it.
and second.
Guys in first and second. The play right after it. Ground ball to Volpe in the hole here as a shortstop. And, again, trying to do too much. I mean, make the easy play. Make the routine play. I think one of the things, especially in big games, again, that hurt teams like that are in these big moments is trying to do so much or trying to do too much in the biggest moments. Make your routine plays, do the things you've been doing the whole year that you're the best at, and not try to overextend sometimes. And this is Volpe, great example of him trying to make a really good play at third. I mean, if a good throw might get him out, but it's just one of those plays where you get a ground ball short, he can easily go to second base, maybe get out at second, make the inning a little more easier on your pitcher. But instead, between the error on Judge and then the Volpe and bad throw over there to third base to Chisholm, put your pitcher in a tough spot.
Even though he's dealing, who was the Dodger that just hit that one right there?
Let's see.
Remember who it was? That's what I'm trying to.
It was, let's see. Oh, Will Smith, I think the catcher.
The catcher.
The catcher running down. Yeah.
Typically, right, this is where, once again, a routine play, this could be a double play. You could get 2 outs. If you get the guy at second, you could easily turn that to Will Smith. No, nothing against Will Smith, incredible athlete. Not the fastest guy that Dodgers have on that roster.
You're right. And that's what I mean, like overextending, trying to do way too much. Like Volpe got a ground ball, just make the simple play. Go to second, you might have a chance at double play. Make the routine play. Don't try to overextend these moments. You're up 5-0, and it's you're going to see in a few seconds it's going to cost him. And they have this is Betts here, and one of the unbelievable moment here. Just defensively, and just from again a mental standpoint as well.
Whose ball is this?
Okay, yeah. So
whose ball is this, Mr. Baseball?
I'm gonna say Garrett Cole needs to get to this bag. However, Rizzo is clean. He seems like he does have time to get the ground ball and touch first. But as a pitcher, it doesn't matter if the first baseman get there or not. You still want to be running to first base like you are going to have to cover the bag. If Rizzo holds you up or your first baseman holds you up, then he gets the out. That's fine. But you still want to make the effort to get there. And this is a huge moment that shows why communication is important in sports, especially in baseball. Like you take communication out, this is a perfect example why it just kind of blows in your face.
This is a TikTok clip that we pulled up, and there's 3,000 comments on there. We're not going to click them in case, but sure, I can guarantee you the top 5 of them all are on there, being like high school baseball, college baseball coaches cannot wait to show their teams this clip.
100%.
You always have to give that best effort, right? To your point, this is do or die. Why isn't he running over there and he thinks he has enough time? This is Mookie Bett. This isn't a former MVP. This is a guy that wants to win. This is a guy that is built to win World Series and just gets there. Beats the older Anthony Rizzo and the older Garrett Cole.
And I think the toughest part about this is obviously Cole does start running over there. But this is 2 outs. You're up 5-0. You had an error in center field, okay, by Judge. You had, I don't know if they calculated as an error by Volpe or error by Chase.
They were errors. So
both
yeah.
errors. Okay. And that, so even with those mistakes, base loaded, Cole does get those 2 outs, even with the bases loaded. Ground ball to Rizzo to get you out of the inning, to keep the 5-0 lead here with 2 outs. This out right here, 5th inning is done. It almost erases Judge's error, Volpe's error. No runs that are scored. But because of this third, almost consecutive, not 3 in a row, but third error of the inning is going to cost the New York Yankees a run here. However, the residual effects of what's going to happen after that is what really burns them. But again, why communication is important, why you need to use communication in any sport, but especially in baseball, is what a moment here. Yeah. The Dodgers were probably just absolutely ecstatic over this.
You could hear the sound bites in there. It's like, we'll take that. We'll take whatever they'll give us.
100%.
Right, and I think that's the best mindset to have when you have 2 outs. It's like, let's just take whatever they're going to give us right now.
And they got Freddie Freeman again, Mr. Clutch in the
Freddie Freeman,
unbelievable.
The presumptive MVP at this point.
MVP.
When you look at at the betting odds for those that partake, he was the presumptive favorite.
Yeah,
and it's 5-3. But guess how many earned runs currently? Guess how many earned runs?
Zero earned runs because of those errors.
Because of the errors, 0 earned runs so far. So nothing, right? Garrett Cole is still dealing, right? His mindset is, I am wheeling, I am dealing, I'm getting what I need to. I have command of the zone. I'm doing everything right now.
And another point I want to make, I probably should have made it with the Rizzo and Cole play there. For teams that find themselves often, or even if you do find yourself down in a game, 5-0 in a championship game or 5-0 in a playoff game, right? And you think, oh man, we're down 5 runs. Like, how are you supposed to come back? The never die mentality here of, you see Mookie Betts, 2 outs, ground ball to first base, just busting it down first baseline.
Right.
Like, he could easily, ground ball to Rizzo and just trot it down there and inning over, right? Just puts in all the effort, and just like a never die mentality and attitude with this Dodgers team, and you wonder why they end up winning. I mean,
never surrender November. You know.
Wow.
It's pretty good, huh?
Hashtag. Anyway, what you got here? Obviously, Freeman with the base hit brought in 2, and then you have the 4-hitter. And I know you kind of brought up earlier who's top 4.
Who's top 4 is going to deliver.
And you got the home run derby champ right here in Teoscar Hernandez. With another, I thought it was gone actually off his bat. I was like, I saw Judge going back, I thought it was gone.
But lay out, right?
I know,
if you're the cat, lay out. Why aren't you laying out right here?
I feel
and
like,
once again, 2 runs coming to score. Freddie Freeman, huffing and puffing, gets there.
Yep.
And it's a tie ball game. And once again, how many earned runs?
0.
5 unearned runs in a nightmare fuel. I know Halloween was just yesterday. Nightmare fuel type of inning. If you're a Yankees fan, you want to forget this clip for the rest of your life.
Oh, yeah, that's really tough. Just really tough. And I agree with you, though. Like, you got a fly ball. I know it's a deep fly ball to center field, but, like, you know, if you're Aaron Judge here, you're the captain of New York Yankees, you're the MVP, you're the star. He made a great play early in the game, so I don't want to discount. He did make a great play early in the game, but, like, you'd like to see maybe a little effort in that moment. Just a little extra. I mean, he didn't go off the wall. It landed before the wall, so it could have been caught. It was still in play, not like it went off the top of the wall or something. So
it's interesting because it seems like it almost flipped. It was, defensively he was solid throughout the series. The bat's gonna wake up. Finally, he gets the home run, and then it's like the defense kind of slipped.
Yep.
Right. It's almost like he was almost maybe heard the noise in the media, like, where's Aaron Judge? Why isn't he here?
Yep.
Instead of just kind of trying to tune out the distractions, lock in, and just kind of focus on what he needs to do. And it's just play his average, because his average is the AL MVP.
His average is better than pretty much everybody else in baseball. That's probably why he's going to win the AL MVP. I think the awards come out in a few weeks.
Yeah.
I think
it's interesting that they do it after. But yeah,
Ohtani
and Judge, which the MVPs, what could you ask for more in this World Series than MVP?
Yep.
These star-studded lineups, 2 of the biggest sports market cities. I believe they're actually 1 and 2 in the U.S. And I don't think we have the clip of them. Do we have the clip of them winning the World Series?
I don't think we do. No, I don't think we do.
But the other interesting one, and we should have put this, I guess, with Game Forward, probably one of the most talked about clips. I know it's most talked about because one of my friends that doesn't even follow sports texted our friend group chat about it and said, Did you guys see that fan rip this ball out of
Yes.
Mookie's glove? And I was like, since when do you follow sports? So I was like, that's how big this is? That's how big this is, right?
Yeah.
This was game 4, right? Obviously, the Dodgers winning game 5, but they're saying, it's over the wall here. Very dangerous for fan interference. You can kind of probably touch on it better than I can, but, right, guys trying to chase down a foul ball. You can see it here. Gets it. And then this fan maybe having a little bit too good of a time trying to help the Yankees win, right? Trying to be a good fan, and maybe just goes a little too far.
A little too far. That's just something in baseball that if you're a spectator watching the game, that's too far. There's nothing. You know what? You can boo the other team. You can boo your own team for all that matter. You can. That's fine. But physically try to take a baseball out of an athlete's glove like that as he's trying to make a play, or just interfering with the play, just not in this, just can't happen in this game, especially like in a World Series like this. How bold to me, like how bold. I know
season ticket holder apparently knows Gronk somehow. I saw that on the podcast.
Really?
Played at Arizona with the Gronk, I guess, in sports, and just rips it out. Could have injured him. This could have changed a lot of things. So they were banned from Game 5. They were not allowed in. MLB said, no, these guys will not be in. Gave tickets, I believe, to some breast cancer survivors, which is a nice, obviously, gesture as well. But Mookie Betts ended up, that was game 4. Game 5, right? You saw him sprint down that baseline. What we don't have, I think, pulled up, the go-ahead hit was a sacrifice hit by Mookie Betts, so also helping to win the World Series. Obviously, a little bad blood between Yankees there with Dodgers as well, because Mookie Betts, former Boston Red Sox. And I think just an absolutely crazy thing. And on top of that,
I think I know what you're about to say next. The plane ride.
Yes, absolutely.
Plane ride home.
Kraft Force One taking the Dodgers on the Patriots plane.
Oh my goodness.
Dodgers, you can take this, and just to add to that rivalry between the Red Sox and Yankees. Dodgers, take the Patriots plane back to LA. You won the World Series. You've earned it. Freddie Freeman, go nap with that MVP.
My goodness.
Ohtani, go nap with the World Series trophy. And
yeah. That's one of my favorite parts just about just sports in general. I mean, the World Series, the guys definitely have some really good coverage on just like photos where the NBA does a great job. I mean, I think all the major sports really do, but the photos after they win a championship, just the iconic photos of again, Freeman sleeping on the plane with the World Series trophy. Just awesome. It's really cool to see, because especially in baseball, when you play 162 games. And I mean, and also you got to add on spring training. So add on the amount of games playing in spring training, and then add on if they're in the wild card, divisional, conference, and then if you get to the World Series, that's a lot of games. That is so many games. So
it's close to 200 games you're playing in
absolutely exhausting. I'd probably sleep on the plane too.
President sleep probably on the field.
Sleep on the field. It is a lot. So especially in baseball, it's a huge. I mean, just to win a World Series to get to this point, got to give the Yankees credit. Obviously, there's a lot of time, effort, and just a lot of stuff that goes into just trying to get to this point as an organization.
First time back on the big stage in 15 years, right? And that is unheard of for Yankees fans, right? They went a decade and a half without being in the Fall Classic, which is crazy for them. And then you have your own Dodgers, right? One of their starters, Walker Buehler, closing it out in the 9th inning of that game, that pivotal Game 5, which the Dodgers came back to win.
They did. They came back to win.
The back and forth for a little bit there too, right? They tied at 5-all. The Yankees came back and went up 6-5, and then the Dodgers eventually closed it.
Yeah, and again, there's another moment there. I know Michael brought up earlier, but they also had, again, bases loaded again. I think 7th or 8th inning, somewhere around there. Sack fly, the Dodgers got some runs home. So, there again, maybe obviously, I think it was Betts that hit it too. Didn't hit a grand slam, then not another grand slam, but still doing your job, going to the plate, knowing that, hey, this moment is big in itself. Don't need to make this any much difficult on yourself. So just putting the bat on the ball and putting a good swing on, that's what I feel like these guys, these big pressure moments have done. Not necessarily always swing at the first pitch.
Right.
I mean, if the first pitch is above your head, don't swing at it because it's the first pitch, but not overthinking the moment. Just kind of keep it in perspective. It's want to kind of approach like any other at-bat. Pitcher's on the mound. He's 60-plus feet away from you. The ball is the same. Everything's the same. It's just the stage changes. The pressure changes.
The environment changes a little bit, right? And these stadiums are also all differently designed as well, right? And this is a very hitter-friendly park in Yankee Stadium, from what I'm thinking correctly,
Indeed.
right?
Yep, it is.
And the environment changes, so you really have to focus as an athlete on what you can control in those moments, your routines, what I'm looking for, what I studied on film, the preparation. What did Dave Roberts tell me? What did my hitting coach tell me? What did my pitching coach tell me? What am I looking for? Ooh, just a little spooky light off there quickly. But happy Halloween. And just trying to do everything within your ability, right, on what you can control, because there's so many things that are not in your control in this kind of setting, in this kind of big event of the World Series.
Absolutely. And I mean, I don't know where it ranks amongst the top World Series out there, but it was just really good. I mean, when you have LA,
it was good.
It was good.
I think if it went 6 or 7, I think it could have really been up there. It would have been amazing to see if the Yankees could have pushed it down 3-0 to tie it 3-3, because anything can happen in a Game 7. But
anything can happen.
I guess your final thoughts, your final takeaways from this World Series from a mental standpoint.
Final takeaways for me. Mental standpoint, I have 2 things. Number one, I know I've mentioned a couple times today, but not letting the pressure of the World Series or your playoffs or whatever high pressure situation you're in, not letting it get to your head, not overthinking the moment would be one. And number 2, from a standpoint of the Los Angeles Dodgers, yes, they were up 3-1 the series, and we really talked about that pivotal, like that 5th inning, but never just giving up. Just because you're down in a game 5 runs, the Dodgers found a way to get back in it and then win it to then go on to win the World Series, because you don't really know if the Yankees do win that game, it becomes 3-2.
3-2.
3-2.
You're still up. You're still winning, but this would be a first. And the noise that you'd hear in the media that this is the first time a team down 3-0 has forced it to go to a Game 6, and it's going to be back in LA, and all these shifts that you can feel in momentum sometimes out there.
Yeah.
And I think that, that's part of my biggest takeaway, is the fact that, the Dodgers, right, for the past few years have been very much ridiculed. And I think that helped them with use that as motivation, right? They kind of knew that they wanted to win it. They have the talent, and it's finally just putting all those pieces together. And I think having the confidence through, the preparation, the year after year of them being one of the best teams and top teams in baseball, them having this really good team chemistry, right? You can hear it. The communication, it was, incredible, right? They didn't have any miscues compared to the Yankees, right? In that nightmare 5th inning where they gave up 5 unearned runs, right? And I think that's what you kind of see, right? You saw this kind of complete team come together and just kind of close it out and believe kind of in Dave Roberts, because I think he did. He kind of gave that bullpen game away. He's like, you can have this one because I'm going to save my pitchers for the next game.
Yep, lots of strategy. Just it's a chess match in between both those managers, and Dave Roberts won. Yeah,
and it just, I think that right, good coaching can help breed confidence, but the Yankees prep, their routines, the fact that they, did everything within their control, whereas the Yankees were trying to influence a lot more things, right, that weren't somewhat within their control, but somewhat not in their control. I think that made the biggest difference from what I noticed from that kind of mental standpoint.
Love it. Cool.
Well,
all right.
We'll be back. We'll be back for the next mental breakdown. That light again.
That light.
Who knows what it will be?
It's a wrap up. All right.
If you like what you're listening to, be sure to follow the Athlete Cafe on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. You can find us wherever you enjoy listening to your podcasts.